Good afternoon, Carrie. We've got Carrie Kendall here, the director of Esther. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Could you? Oh, we need to start again. Just carry on.
Yeah.
Start again.
Just go for it. Something wrong.
This afternoon we've got Carrie Kendall with us, who is the director. I'm going to start again. This afternoon we've got Carrie Kendall with us. Welcome, Carrie. She is the director of Esther, which is a documentary. Could you let us know what Esther is all about, please?
So Esther is a very intimate documentary about a young girl battling with anorexia and eating disorders, mental health issues as well. So she just talks us through when she figured out she had an eating disorder and the process from her figuring it out, getting help from medical professionals, and to where she is now.
Great. And how did this story come to you?
It started off as a university project. I was told to make a 15-minute documentary about anything I would like to do. And it mostly stemmed from just my own anger. I find it so frustrating, the narrative of to reach out for your mental health, but once you do reach out, the medical services often fail their patients. And it's not that I'm saying don't reach out, but there needs to be more than just talking to your friends and family. I started off researching that, but then I met Esther, who had such an interesting story and a very poetic way of speaking, that I shifted the narrative between mental health in general to just her and her story.
Great. So it's a university project. Are you still at university?
Yes, I'm just finishing my master's degree at Queen Mary in London.
May I ask
in film studies. Yes.
Film studies. Thank you, Carrie. And this is your first movie?
Yeah, it's the first thing I've ever created. I've had interest in photography. I never really thought that it would stem into filmmaking, but it kind of felt like a very natural progression.
Yeah, fantastic. And are you a documentary fan generally, or is this just a one-off? You like other genres? What's your thing?
I've never really loved documentary. I'll watch something of a genre of a topic that I'm interested in. So let's say as a documentary about roller skating, I'll watch that. But as a genre in its entirety, I'd always skip it. But through studying it at university, I found a new love for it. But I mean, I'd still, if I could choose horror and anything related to that's my go-to.
So horror's your go-to. So let's find out, what's your favourite horror films then?
Oh gosh, I'm never prepared for that question.
I put you on the spot. That's okay. Come back to that. So, what's lined up next?
So I've got another documentary in the works, and it's once again fueled by just my pure anger. It's about horror films and how they use female trauma, and I'm going to relate that to how women just genuinely feel unsafe in the streets. So I've got stories of women who've spoken to me about gendered violence and sexual assault that they might have suffered, or just generic harassment in the street. So films, especially horror, uses that to shock their victims, and I'm just going to explore how it's not exactly shocking for women, and if there is going to be a change in the industry.
Great, that sounds really exciting. So just back to Esther again. You were the one and only person on the crew.
Yes, it was me huddled over my computer for a very long time.
Great.
Because it was all shot during the 2020 pandemic. I couldn't film anything. I couldn't meet anyone in person, so it was all stock footage and through a Zoom call. I had a lot of support from my friends and family around me, basically keeping me sane while I'm doing this. But for the most part, it was just me and my PC.
So at this point in time, is that something you're thinking you want to do, is be a director?
I mean, it really varies. I enjoy directing, but also I've worked in group productions, and if I really don't know. I'm not sure where I'll be going yet.
Well, you clearly got a talent in that department.
As long as I'm behind the camera, I think I'm happy. I feel like camera work in itself is kind of my interest. Like, you tell me what to do and I can get it done for you.
But is this going to go into sort of horror films eventually?
I have made a little horror short.
Oh.
I'm keeping this one hidden. As a group project, a few of us in my university have worked on a little 12-minute short horror. We're going to get a director's cut ready for the film festival for next year.
Oh, fantastic. We look forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us, and every success with Esther.
Thank you.
Thank you.